Fact or fiction? Can you actually train to get your lower abs and that elusive V-taper to show more? You absolutely can, but you have to do the right exercises. And today I'm going to show you 3 ways to do just that. What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, AthleanX.com. That elusive V-taper, right? The one down here, the lower ab region that leads down you know where. Can you actually train to get that to pop more? The answer is yes, but first and foremost, you have to be able to reveal it, right? I don't care if you train the ever-loving crap out of your lower abs. If you don't have a low enough body fat level, you're never going to show that. So that's going to start with your nutrition. You want to make sure that your nutrition is locked in. Besides that, when we're talking about actual training though, it is possible, but you have to change the way that you think about training the lower abs. You have to understand that in order to get this area to show more, you have to know that there's multiple muscle groups that are involved. And these areas here, actually the inguinal ligament, there's sort of a blend of muscles that work their way into either inserting into them this way or running in the same direction. And most of all, guys, that's the internal and the external obliques. So we can't just think about training in straight, one plane, lower ab movements. If we want to get this to show, we have to work on incorporating internal, external obliques, which is going to be a lot of rotation at the same time. And this is the big one, we have to make sure that we work on the muscles that lay underneath that area. And that one's going to be the transverse abdominis, which any of you guys who've done Pilates or your wives do Pilates, that's the muscle that we really focus on. And that's sort of like the weightlifter belt that goes around you this way. The fact of the matter is, when you develop that, it allows the muscles above here to pop a little bit more. So, how do we do that all in one exercise? Well, I'm going to show you now, and I'm actually going to show you 3 different ways that you can work it. You can put them together in a circuit, and you have a great, great lower ab workout that's going to train your body the way that it's meant to be trained, and that's what AthleanX is all about, guys. Remember, you got to train yourself the way the muscles are meant to be trained. So, what we do is, we grab here onto a hanging bar, okay? And you're going to grasp your fingers over the top of each other and hang down. Now, as you're going to see, the first thing we want to do is, remember I said the transverse? Right here, you can already see this contracting because we flatten out the transverse abdominis. We do that by almost acting as if you just walked into ice cold water. If you guys walked into ice cold water, you'd, oh man, it's freezing, right? You'd be pulling back in through here, which makes this muscle pop because that transverse runs beneath that area. So you want to engage that first, flattening it out. Then you're going to twist. As you can see, as soon as I twist, the external obliques will contract, okay? External and internal obliques. External on one side, over here, internal obliques on the other side. And then we'll do our leg lift. So turn, inland leg lift, and then down and turn. Rotate, leg lift, down and in. Rotate, leg lift, down and in. Alright, so one great way to do it. Let's say you don't have access to a pull-up bar. No problem. Do it down on the floor. So what we do is position ourselves in front of anything that we can just to anchor ourselves on. Grab up here, and when we pull back, again, a lot of guys do straight leg, reverse crunches, whatever you want to call them, but we got to get it up. At the same time, we want to pull down on that transverse, like we talked about, and then we got to get that rotation in there too. So it's up and twist your butt to the left and down, okay? Up and twist all the way to the right and down. I can feel that lighten up these areas right here. Finally, I take you over to a band exercise you can do to really finish this area off. Anchor a band low. It could be around the leg of a couch, could be around the bedpost, whatever it is. Get down on the ground. A great way to activate the transverse is to get in a plank position, because in order to hold that posture the right way, you got to have the transverse working. So you get into a plank, get your arm reaching out in front of you, here, like that. Again, pulling up on the abs to keep your transverse engaged. Come up, rotate, drive your knee across your body. So here's that rotation, and then the elbow in, and then up, and then up, up. If I show you from the other side, looks like this. You'll see it acting a little bit more. Here, driving, you see the rotation, and in. Again, driving up and working on that V-cut at the same time. Remember, you can get on the show, gotta have that diet right. Doesn't have to be restrictive, it just has to be right. And you gotta use the right exercises. And both of these things are covered with Athlete X training. I said if you wanna look like an athlete, you gotta train like an athlete. Athletes need internal and external obliques to work with the transverse abdominis, to work with the rectus. All these muscles work together. You don't isolate function. You don't want to do it out there. You don't want to do it in the gym. Not if you want to look like an athlete. So, guys, anybody that might be new to Athlete X training, you got to check out what we're all about. Head over to athletex.com and see what it's like when you start training like an athlete. In the next 90 days, you can actually start looking like one. I'll see you guys over at athletex.com. In the meantime, if you found this video helpful, make sure you comment, leave your thumbs up, and maybe even share it with your friends. I'll see you guys back here in 7 days.